Hi, I'm Caleb. I've suffered with OCD my entire life, basically. And I've decided to start sharing some of the top strategies I have found that have really made a difference for me, really been game changing, really made me feel almost completely normal sometimes, and enabled me to continue to make progress in my journey. So, today's video, I wanted to share in particular um, my my cocktail of medication and supplements that has been working really well for me. And this is something that no doctor would particularly suggest, and so you may have never heard of it. But there is good scientific data to support the use of all three things that I'm going to share with you today, and to support their use for OCD specifically. So, one caveat I wanted to share is that, of course, everybody's a unique individual, and there's probably no one treatment protocol that's going to work for everybody. So, we're all biochemical individuals, and this may or may not be helpful to you. But if you're like me, you might be pretty eager to try anything and everything that might be helpful, because a lot of the standard strategies are not so helpful. So to start with, I'll outline the three things and then I'll go into detail. I use a medication called Naltrexone in a low dose, commonly used for chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, things like that. And that's been super helpful to me. I take this supplement. It's a special turmeric formulation called Curamed, and it's supposed to be a lot more bioavailable than other turmeric supplements, and I'll go into why that's been helpful. The third thing is glutathione. Particularly, it's a form called reduced glutathione, which is an antioxidant, and that has also been one of the third most important things for me. So going back to the first one, naltrexone is used in people who have kind of chronic fatigue and pain and things because of its anti-inflammatory properties. They use it also in large doses for people who have addictions and things like that. It doesn't encourage any sort of addiction processing or behavior in the brain. It actually blocks dopamine receptors in high doses. But in low doses, all it does is a little bit of anti-inflammatory action in the brain, according to the research that I did. And so it's very simple. You take the tablet and you dissolve it in distilled water. And what's nice about that is you can have absolute control over your dosing. You can start really small, which I usually need to do that, and you can increase it as gradually as you like until you get to a place where you feel like it's giving you the benefit. I currently take the equivalent of 3 milligrams of low-dose naltrexone every day. My psychiatrist was willing to prescribe that for me, and I could take a higher dose, but that's actually been the best for me so far. And I divide those doses. So I take 1.5 milligrams in the morning, and I take 1.5 milligrams in the late afternoon, early evening, or even at bedtime would be fine. And for me, that helps minimize side effects, and it also helps me to have a more consistent treatment, a more successful treatment that's consistent throughout the day, because I think it has a short half-life and doesn't stay in your system a real long time. So that medication, out of all the medications I've tried, has been the most helpful, the most balanced, and at this dosage, I don't have side effects. It's actually helped me with things like appetite in the right dosage. This second product here, the Curamed turmeric supplement, I noticed a distinct change in positivity and feeling relaxed, feeling more friendly and engaged with other people. I think its anti-inflammatory benefits may have something to do with that, possibly some of its antioxidant properties, but it seems to have a different action than the naltrexone does, because I found that it was better when I take them combined versus taking one or the other alone. So I take one of these twice per day as well. Um, and one a day was helpful, but it was that second dose later in the day where I really started to notice a change. Same thing with this last supplement, glutathione, reduced glutathione. It's a very potent antioxidant. It's something that your body naturally produces. And so you're just providing yourself, an extra dose of this. This is something that I would say is the only thing I've ever found that will actually take away brain fog. And if you've ever had that inability to think, inability to process information or make decisions, you know how debilitating and frustrating that can be. And I take one of these now twice a day as well. And again, although I've tried various dosages, and this is a 250 milligrams, by the way, that I take twice a day. Basically, taking all three of these things 2 times a day, wow, what a difference it's made for me in lowering my symptoms, in helping my mental performance, helping me to feel more at ease, helping me to be more engaged with people, helping me to be more productive in my work, and just not feeling bothered by anxious or intrusive thoughts, feeling like, oh yeah, I can have a crazy thought come in, but I'm not going to immediately believe it or immediately feel like I have to act on it. I can just kind of sit with it, recognize it, and do the work that we learn with our OCD therapy of maybe challenging that thought or setting it aside and trying to refocus on something else. So those are subjects for another video, but I just want to share those 3 things with you. If you do try them, I would love to hear, if they've been helpful to you. I'm my own guinea pig, so to speak. I believe they're all very safe to use. As I mentioned, I did look up and find research studies on all 3 of them. My doctor was, in favor of them too. And if you want to message me or comment, I would love to hear any experiences that you have. And just as a final note to share, this sign, strive for progress, not perfection. If you have OCD, you know how meaningful that saying is. A family member gave that to me. So let's do that. Let's strive for progress, not perfection. And in doing so, we can actually have a meaningful, fulfilling life and not drive ourselves or others crazy. Hope this is helpful, and we'll perhaps see you in another video.